Welcome. Look, I know that was a fickle opening, but today has been one of those days. And just going to come right out and say it. A lot of talk about this contract signing tonight. And if y'all know what I'm talking about, if you pay attention to anything in the internet wrestling world, they're having judges. It's a 60-minute time limit for Cody Rhodes and Chris Jericho's match at Full Gear. And if the 60-minute time limit is up, it goes to 3 judges. And then there's that way there is a winner. Well, that may not happen, because how can if one of the judges say, well, I can't pick a winner, it's a draw. And then the other 2 pick one and the other, how can you crown a champion? Can't. But that being said, those 3 judges, and then there was this whole talk about how it's never been done before and WWE doesn't have time limits. And look, WWE has had time limits. WCW has done this before. So don't say that AEW is not reaching in the WCW bag of rules and pulling them out. Because by God, I proved somebody wrong today. March 27th, 1988, Ric Flair versus Sting. They had 3 judges, 60-minute time limit. Enough said. That being said, do I think it's going to 60 minutes? If it does, I'm not fucking watching. Well, I'm not going to watch it. Well, I'm probably going to watch it on British USA. It's not going to 60 minutes because there is no fucking way. And look, the only way it'll go 60 minutes is if it's like the pay-per-view we watched last night.
For Wrestling Memories, which is going to be premiering at the very end of AEW.
Oh my lord! That pay-per-view last night killed us, and we watched Halloween Havoc 1995. The only way that match goes 60 minutes is if it's like 45 minutes of wrestles. There's no way that match is going to full 60 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I told Austin. I said Jericho's not going to last 60 minutes. Cody might.
But the argument is it's not the fact. I know that it's probably not going to go to 60 minutes because I don't think Chris Jericho can go 60 minutes. He might be able to go a half hour max. And I don't even know if Cody Rhodes might be able to. But the argument is that the whole argument is, and again, and I hate doing this, but I have to, and Basement probably knows where I'm going with this. If WWE was to do this, what would be the first thing that people say? Well, this is going to be a shit show. What if they did this for The Fiend and Seth Rollins? It would be shit. It would be shit, number one. But still, think about it. So before you tweet out something that has a valid argument that if WWE would have done it, it would have been shit on, don't say that. What is my motto? What is good for the goose is good for the gander. If we're going to shit on this for WWE, I'm going to shit on it for AEW. But again, the match hasn't happened. I don't think it's going the full 60 minutes, so I don't care. And if it was, I would have had it as a 30-minute time limit, if anything. Not a 60-minute, because there's no way Chris Jericho. It would have made more sense. Because if they go the full 60 minutes, I don't know how great that match. I don't know how great that match is going to be. It's, like I said, 45 minutes of rest holds.
Well, that's what I mean. For me, especially since they're promoting this with this contract signing tonight, and exactly what I told Austin is, I said it would be more rest holds, out of the ring laying, just arm bar, headlock, and that's going to be the majority of that match. But for them to promote this as we need to have judges, it's somehow these judges are going to be incorporated somehow in this match.
And who are they going to have as judges?
Right.
Right, and that's, I guess, who we'll find out tonight.
And again, and Pace brings up a very good point. One of the wrestlers is the company's executive vice president.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a
Double dip.
well, what's the word I'm looking for? Conflict of interest, in my opinion. So there's logic gaps in the story to me.
Right, and your thinking is, okay, well, they're going to have MJF as a judge, or they're going to have Brandy as a judge. Is it
Or
going
are
to be
they gonna
people
bring
in
in
the company? Is it
people
going to
like
be
celebrities?
people that they're bringing in?
Right? No, I agree with you 100%.
I just feel like this match doesn't need to have any of these stipulations going for it. It seems like AEW's in this mindset of where everything has to be so epic, more epic than it deserves to be.
Yep.
This whole feud is built literally in a month, and it hasn't even been that big of a build for it to get to a point where they have to wrestle for 60 minutes with judges on the sidelines.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see, like, you build up to something like that. You don't just make that the first match you gotta have together.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that being said, I want to get one thing perfectly clear to all those people out there on Twitter that think I'm a fucking AEW hater. Would I be doing this show if I hated AEW? There are certain things, but I call WWE out on the same bullshit. Everybody here knows me, and I keep saying that. Everybody here knows me. I am not a WWE. I am not a WWE apologist. I quit doing Raw and SmackDown for a very good reason. Number one, it's not giving me a reaction at all. And number two, NXT and AEW are the two better shows. And there's gonna be discussion going on. The only discussion that goes on during Raw and SmackDown, and everybody here on this show can vouch for it, what the fuck was that and why? Why did they do that?
Yeah.
So,
Or what the hell were they thinking?
yeah, exactly. And we're always saying, well, we would have booked this different. We're still going to do that because that's what we do here. We essentially sit here and talk wrestling while we are watching wrestling. What would I like to happen? That's essentially why I'm here. I'm not here to, I don't want to shit on the show, but if they do something wrong, I'm definitely going to shit on them.
Yeah.
Prime example, last week with the fucking ticket thing. Little nuances, little pieces of storytelling go a long way in getting something to make sense. We talked about it on Saturday night. We talked about it that night. I do shit on everyone, literally. I just pull down my pants and just drop a deuce. That's what but
Well, and you weren't the only one. I mean, there were people on Twitter that actually had zoomed in on the ticket, and the ticket wasn't even for a VIP seat. It was like a lower section seating.
And those are the people that are really looking for logic gaps. I'm not looking for logic gaps, but when it's very prevalent, my issue isn't whether it was a VIP ticket. My issue is why did they have to buy that?
And Chance actually says something that I 100% agree with. They're trying to make it look like a real sport where they do these being the elite things and they're all buddy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like impossible. You're in a place where you can't make something believable when you're turning around and seeing it being unbelievable somewhere else or right afterwards.
Right.
Be right back.
Yep.
Like being the elite, these guys are all in the back shaking hands and fucking talking to each other, and then all of a sudden the show's on and they're like arch nemesis, and you have this like Cody segment where he's like, I can't move on with my life. Well, I have to have this fight.
Yep. We also had a late arrival. What's up, Bobbit? How's it going, man?
Pretty good, you?
I'm doing all right. doing it. I can agree with that. I mean, they do. My issue is also a couple of things with the show is that what is MJF? Are they gonna? People are saying Cody turning on MJF. Well, if you turn MJF babyface, you're essentially killing the character because now he can't shit on the fans, even though he's more over. And yes, the fans are cheering him and shit, but he can still come out and he can still cut that I'm still better than you shit. But if you turn Cody on him, you've ruined that character. Nobody's gonna take being shit on. Because I've seen videos of him, of people taking videos, walking out, saying, shake my hand or take my hat, and the guy flipped his hat off or whatever he did, or slapped his hand and knocked his camera out of his hand. I mean, that's MJF. And that's what I like about him. I think he is the epitome of what a heel should be today.
And none of this really needs to happen yet. There's no need to rush everything. Like, it'll have so much more weight when that change does happen after we know the characters, after watching the show for 3 months, 6 months, instead of in the first month having it like blow your load all over the fucking walls.
Right.
See, and I was thinking along the lines, and I did see a couple things on Twitter over the last couple days. I think it could somehow incorporate Brandy with it too, and Brandy aligning with MJF and turning her back on Cody.
Right.
I just hope they don't do any of those, like a lot of these storylines that people are talking about sound very WWE-esque. It seems to come from that sphere, so I hope they don't go in that direction of his wife turning on him, because it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Right, and we've talked about it too. I mean, everything's been done in wrestling, so it's like, what can they do, or what can they not do that hasn't been done already?
Coop, I don't want Cody to turn on MJF. I want MJF to turn on Cody because it makes more sense.
Right.
I don't think they're in a place in the storyline where that has to happen. Tease it for a bit, man.
Oh, of course. Dude,
You've seen it
the
too.
end game is MJF turns on Cody. You can't have Cody turn on MJF, because if you have Cody turn on MJF, where does the story go from there? I mean, you could go there, but then you're ruining MJF. And I thought Dustin Runnels was actually just a fucking competitor. What is he now, an executive vice president? See, this is the problem I have with this shit. And then I get it, it's his brother. I get it, it's his brother. But
yes, because that's what they needed to do. Add more cheese to the kitchen.
What the fuck is happening?
he's asking him questions. He's like, essentially right now he's asking him.
Why was it like a tearful goodbye?
It was more because they did have this on Twitter. I did see it, that they met up to have a heart-to-heart, like a brother-to-brother, heart-to-heart. And that was one of the things that he met up with Dustin while they were in West Virginia. I guess he flew out there so that they could have a heart-to-heart talk and brotherly advice. And that was put on Twitter by Cody.
Okay.
So I guess it was kind of the lead into the storyline tonight.
Okay. And it would have been nice to have them do, this is a problem, another problem that I have. And I get it. It would have been nice to have a vignette of them two essentially having this heart-to-heart, because I'm not going to go looking on Twitter as to what they say.
And they could take 2 minutes at the beginning of the show to reshow. I'm not done yet.
If you're gonna tell a story,
John Moxley and Pac in the finish of that match, but they can't take 2 minutes to sit there and say, well, Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle were banned from the arena, so they needed to buy a ticket. I mean, come on.
Back Shacker. But go
if
ahead,
you're gonna tell a story,
Yeah.
show the story. You have to show the story to the audience. You can't tell them to look elsewhere or assume because then you're not doing your job properly. No one's going to understand. If I have to assume why a storyline's happening, my assumption is going to be different than somebody else's, then somebody else's, and somebody else's. And how do you tell a storyline that's cohesive for everybody? You're fired, Moxley.
Right, so this is they've changed the match for Omega and him to the lights out.
Interesting.
Was that so difficult?
What?
To tell a story like that at the beginning of the show. That's so fucking difficult.
No, but apparently his match with Kenny Omega is now unsanctioned.
But it was they told us why too, for the most part.
Box, and therefore he becomes CZW John Moxley all over again.
This is what they want him to be. They pigeonhole him, which I don't want. But whatever.
Well, I mean, it's a step in the right direction of starting the show with what happened before and why you should care. And I kind of prefer shows to start that way than just jumping into action. As long as it's not a half an hour of that crap.
That I am not. That I liked. But I'm talking about what they're doing with John Moxley.
Well, it was inevitable. He is what he is. He's going to be somewhat the same character everywhere.
Right.
Hopefully they can get the best out of him for him being what he is.
Right. So this is happening at Full Gear, Lights Out match, which is not sanctioned. That's what that means.
Rick and Morty are all in.
Yep, Sabian and TH2.
Yeah, go for them.
Who's TH2?
No idea.
Apparently, there's a Tony Hawk too.
That might be
TH2. That's those fucking douchebags.
Isn't that Jack? What's his name?
Yeah.
The two guys.
And Helico.
And Helico, yeah. Rick and Morty. I don't care. I don't care about Rick and Morty.
A lot of people do. It's really popular. That's why they're doing it.
I get it. But I don't care. That's not why I'm watching the show.
No, I can see why they partnered with things that are like beloved on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Because essentially that's how this whole fucking thing started.
Right.
Well, they act like it's so innovative. It's no different than what they used to do back in the day with WWE and half the shows, like when they used to have them like with Judge Mills Lane and stuff. It's no different than that.
I fucking hate this guy. Sorry, not you, Trek. Sammy Guevara. His fucking hair. There's nothing I like about him.
Oh my god, that is so cool. The ring posts are the Rick and Morty portals. That is freaking awesome.
Are they?
The reason why they're doing Rick and Morty is because they're on Adult Swim, which is by Turner. It's easiest for them to do.
Don't ruin this for me, Trek. This is freaking cool.
I agree with Chase. They are doing WCW stuff. I can't. They're kind of acting like WCW did.
Right. Bob, it is cool, but I'm just saying that's why it's easiest for them to do. Because they're under the same roof. So it is cool that they're doing it. It's just easy.
Oh, cool. The turnbuckles have Rick and Morty stuff on them. Awesome.
Bobbit. Oh my god.
Wait till they bring out the pickle, Bobbit.
If they do, I will legit mark out on stream.
If they bring out
yeah, you wouldn't understand it.
It's a character.
It's impossible to explain properly.
Like,
It's not a bad show. It's extremely eccentric. It's really.
I'm a
fun.
huge Rick and Morty fan. Like, I love that show to death.
Rick and Morty can go toss a salad.
JP, shut up.
They could toss each other salad.
Yes.
No, I like the show too. It's pretty fun.
Not bad.
JP's a poopy butthole.
Hey, don't. I've been called worse today, so whatever.
Well, asshole.
I was called a terrorist today. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's normal.
That's ridiculous.
Called a terrorist lover today. Because I
That'll
supported the women
Women
wrestling
over
in Saudi
in-
Arabia today. Apparently, I'm one of the people that
That literally makes no sense.
I know.
It really doesn't.
Because people are stupid.
I shot back at him with, motherfucker, I fought against terrorists for 23 years. Shut the fucking mouth. Well, tell
Yeah, you gotta love idiots on Twitter.
It's just an agenda, is all it is.
It is.
These people saying they want equality and they want equality, and then they're like, well, we didn't want these wrestlers to go at it. It's like, motherfucker,
Look.
did you want Alicia Boxer to get botched and wreck someone's life? I don't think so.
But
Look,
also,
the
like,
reason
if you didn't care about the show, why do you care about this?
Yeah, no shit. The reason that they're doing these two, and it was stated, is Natalya is being rewarded because she was an advocate. She was fighting. She was one of those, along with WWE and hard. She was advocating for women to have not equal rights, but to get the opportunity to wrestle in a country that nobody ever thought that they would ever wrestle in. And it's not the same as fucking the circus, you fucking goofball. No, we're talking about actually sports entertainment competing inside a fucking ring where they're fighting.
Yeah.
Fake fighting, but they're fighting, okay?
They're working, period.
And
Yes.
she advocated, so she was rewarded
Not
for
only that,
getting.
last year she was also an ambassador with Mojo and.
That's what I'm talking about.
But I mean, the Saudi Arabian events haven't been about showcasing the best talents. They have been advertisements for wrestling more so than they have been showcasing the best talents. For fuck's sakes, like the first matches were these old sons of bitches fighting each other.
Right. And the thing is that Natalya, like Heather said, she's an ambassador for this whole thing. So they rewarded her with a match. It would have been Alexa Bliss, but she's hurt or she's out. She's on hiatus for right now.
She was granted a vacation.
Yes. So Lacey Evans, who was right behind Natalya on this whole thing, was
like,
rewarded
my question
with the match too. What did Becky, what did Charlotte, what did Bayley, and what did Sasha do for Saudi Arabia? Sasha already got the match in Abu Dhabi, along with Sasha Banks. Why does she need that match? She don't. There's nothing wrong with Natalya.
No, I agree.
There's nothing wrong with Natalya and Lacey Evans getting this match. Lacey Evans.
The bigger statement is that it's happening, not that who it's happening with.
Yeah.
And I feel like the people are getting hung up on like the thing that doesn't really matter anywhere near as much.
Yes.
Well, and Lacey even put out on her Twitter today. I mean, her hard work, it's history in the making, and she basically is showing her daughter that when you put your mind and heart into something, you get rewarded and you can move forward in life.
Also, like WWE loves Lacey Evans. They're rocket shipping her to the moon.
But she has not. She's improved. She's not a bad worker. It's just you threw her in a match, and that's why people don't like her. They threw her in the fucking title picture right away. That was on WWE booking, not her. And I don't think she really botches that bad. She's not the greatest wrestler in the world, but Jesus Christ. Come on.
She's serviceable, but she's not. She's
Yeah.
I don't. I guess I don't see what WWE sees in her because she's kind of like more of the same in terms of even her look, kind of for me.
But what they
But-
love about her is her background is she's former military.
Right.
So they know she is willing to work for anything.
Hmm.
That's why they love her.
I think she'll be
Yeah.
fine. I think if she's in the ring with the veteran of the women's division,
Yeah.
I think she'll be fine.
The only veteran left.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Becky can't carry a match. I'm sorry. We've seen that and in that match with Lacey Evans. I still think they need to change her gimmick.
I agree.
Adam Page's horse died.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. He was stabled in Mount Horror.
He
Yeah, I was
he
going to
had
say.
the horses in the back.
Yeah, she'll get better over time. You have to give these women time. I mean, Lacey Evans, she's green. She's green in the ring, and I will agree with Ray Sean. She should have called up way too soon.
Right.
But then again, so were Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. Sonya Deville has improved, and so has Mandy Rose.
Exactly.
A lot of the women's
And as
division were
for-
called up too soon, but they had to do it
It's kind
because
of
they wanted to
have
build a
because there's not enough women on the fucking roster to.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, some people are making. Some people online are making a big deal. It's, oh, Natty, she's gonna botch every move. Natty does not botch that much. There's a reason she's put in the thing. Besides being rewarded, she's a veteran. She can lead a match.
Natalia,
So these people
She
like
reminds me of
Trippin,
like
this,
the Miz in the ring. She wrestles super safe.
Yeah.
She's not exciting really, but she's serviceable.
and
Yeah.
the people in Saudi Arabia love Natalia. And that's another reason why WWE wanted her. Not Becky, not Charlotte, Natalia. Why? I don't know. I mean, I could probably take a gander because it's Bret Hart's niece. They make mention of that
Yeah.
all the time. So they can associate. You got to remember, and the people in NXT, if they were to bring out Io Shirai and Toni Storm, like some people had mentioned, they're not gonna. Who the fuck are these people? This is. I don't. Are these guys even in WWE? A lot of people in Saudi Arabia are like, oh, this, and you would get no reaction from them. This
Well,
one,
the thing is, you got to look at the
Exactly.
audience, right? The audience there is like a bunch of, to me, they're just a bunch of casual fans that know of wrestling.
Yep, and know of
They won't know
big
half of these
stars,
people.
and know of the big stars, not the people in NXT like Candice LeRae and Shirai, Slender Man.
I mean, it could have been worse. I mean, if not wrestling, it could have been her.
Say it again.
I said it could have been worse. If Nia was able to compete, it could have been her.
Oh no.
Could have been.
Because, I mean, you reference Natty with Bret Hart and Nia with The Rock.
Yeah, I know.
But I will have to say, with Total Divas this season, Sonya Deville has made that show. I mean, I have actually gone back to watch it.
Not this guy.
Yeah.
Well, see, I like Nia Jax because I'm starting to become a fan of Nia.
Yeah, be quiet because I want to hear it. Adam Page. He just said a real cowboy shit. the fans are fucking like, what do you call them? They say something and then all of a sudden they just repeat what he says. It's like,
Well, just parroting. Paul parroting.
he emphasized the word cowboy shit. What the fuck? Okay. I like Adam Page, but I don't know why he had to say that. Is that shock value? My daughter is over here snoring.
Poor thing.
She's sleeping, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah. Get as much as she can.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Yeah, I know. So,
Why are we?
okay, so they're doing a recap and they're at a commercial break. The split screen shit, I don't understand this. I really don't.
Why do the split screen here? Just go to a commercial.
And come back and do this. We just seen this. I don't. Or do it later. It doesn't. Why do they do this right after matches? I like Adam Page, Rayshawn. I just. I don't. I think he's trying to be something he doesn't need to be. I don't know. I like him. I can't shit on him.
He reminds me a lot of a guy that would be in WWE and do very well.
Oh, of course. He
reminds me of Test.
Test. He reminds me of Seth Rollins.
He reminds me.
He reminds me. He doesn't have the mobility of Seth Rollins, and he's not as giant as Test, so it's hard to say either of those.
He's a love child of both.
He's just a regularly sized dude. He's not like fucking gigantic or anything.
He's actually only 215 pounds.
He's like 6 foot tall, but he just looks bigger because the rest of the roster is tiny.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. He won't get lost in the shuffle.
I think they're grooming him.
He's being groomed to be the man.
Yeah.
But he's got a ways to go, and that's why they put the title on Jericho. He wasn't quite ready yet. Not quite ready yet. See, now they're at a commercial, and you got
Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson.
yeah, and the fucking private party sitting there talking to him. So we can't even hear what they're saying. This is a problem that I have with this company.
See, I don't understand why you don't do the picture-in-picture actually during the matches, because at least it's like non-audible. I don't need to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
This makes no sense. And sitting on their hands.
And honestly, I thought we were going to get some kind of Halloween gimmick tonight, too. I mean, I saw the Incredible Hulks in the audience.
Right. Maybe that was Marco's stunt. Well, they're doing the tag team titles. You know?
It's such a weird time to take a commercial break and like use the screen thing.
I agree. Shauna?
Have its pictures of the fucking audience.
What is this? Wait,
It's a chick.
Shiny.
What? Shanna?
Shanna.
They pronounce it Shana.
Is this a man or a woman?
It's a woman.
It's a woman.
At least we get to see like the rest of the women's roster. Fuck's sakes, man.
I think is this.
That's what they should have been doing these past few weeks instead of having Rio fight every week.
Yeah, she doesn't need to fight every week. But they want to establish her as like a fighting champion, I think. But I don't know.
But she's fighting Riho.
And she also won another belt this past weekend in another division. So I don't think her reign here is going to be much longer.
Who the fuck is this?
I don't know.
Oh,
Perfect athlete.
This is the one that should have beat Riho, in my opinion.
all right. And Asian Cutie. I'm okay with this.
Yeah. Well, Halloween falls on tomorrow, so there won't be any Halloween matches. Rayshawn.
Oh yeah, she's solid.
I like her. She's pretty good in the ring. She's bigger than Riho. She's a typical. No, I wouldn't say she's more experienced. I think she's a couple years older, but I think I know who's winning this match.
Yep.
Team
It's definitely
Japan
not the
all
girl
play.
I haven't seen before.
I'm surprised we don't have Aubrey as the referee.
Oh my god. Yeah, I haven't seen her tonight.
Fucking Aubrey.
She's probably going to be the main event.
I would imagine so.
Oh Lord.
Oh my god. Is that the tag team match? Because
Probably.
She is supposed to be there because she did put out on Twitter that she was
I don't care if she's
forward
gonna
to
be
being
there.
in Charleston.
Why does she need to tell everybody I'm gonna be there tonight? Nobody cares. She's employed by the company. Of course she's gonna fucking be there. I don't know why people ask that question. I can't stand Darby Allin. Not a fan.
Well, you're gonna have to stand him because he's gonna become face of the company at some point. Like they're in love with him.
Darby is going to seriously hurt himself in the next couple months here.
Surprised he hasn't already.
He's like their Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Don't they have?
I mean, I don't mind Darby Allin. I just feel like he's and the thing is he's not like dangerous in the ring. He's only a danger to himself.
Yeah.
And just way too many risks he takes. I mean, 22 years of age. That is going to catch up with him really quick.
Yep.
I hope he doesn't end up fucked up. But yeah, he takes some really rough bumps that will come back to bite you in the ass once you hit 30.
Yep.
Just ask those guys from Jackass all the stunts they did.
That's why most of
they were all like fucked up every time they did anything, though, for the most part. Like, let's do a bunch of coke and shit on grandfather's face.
Yeah.
This is the one that
Use it.
Gina's talking about that her mother trains wrestlers from Japan. That's who this girl is.
She can train me.
Stop it. Stop.
How to train your dragon.
Exactly.
This woman.
Matches on Sheeta.
What? Shanna? How do you even say her name?
Shayna, I guess.
Shana.
Shana.
Her name backwards is almost anus.
Duh.
Anas. Shanna, yep.
Oh my god. I already regret the shit I've done.
Believe you me, I'm feeling the effects of it now.
anything physical unless I absolutely positively have to.
I'm cleaning the floors the other day, and my ankles, my knees, legs were popping something terrible.
You know, like right now the weather's changing. My back and my ankles and my shoulder. It's. Well,
Yeah, I got the big middle finger from Heather about our weather versus yours.
yeah.
We're going to be in the 60s this weekend. I'll be feeling it. It's been 90 here.
That temperature drop is pretty.
Yeah.
Because
well,
you could be
tomorrow's
in
supposed to be the hottest Halloween on record here. We're supposed to be in the 90s.
It could be, like out in the desert, it could be 100 degrees and the temperature drops down to 60. It's cold as well.
Yep, that's what we're getting Saturday. And it's just like for all these days we've hit 90 and 100, and then for it to drop 30 plus degrees.
All right, Ryan. Okay, now commercial break here, I don't.
Right, it's perfect time, but they don't have to sit there and say, this match continues when we come back. It's continuing right now.
He does say that because I think some people in Canada, I don't know, basement, but
I'll tell you as soon as the commercial. I have no commercials yet, and they're still slapping tits. There we go. No, I didn't hear anything. They just went to commercial picture in picture.
Okay. Jim Ross does say we'll be right back after these messages. And I think he's talking about JR and he'll be back right after these messages.
Yeah, probably.
Which is fine, but it sounds kind of foolish. Like you're going to a commercial and then
the match will continue. That was the exact words.
It seems like there's a disconnect. Like the company doesn't know when they're picture in picture. Just judging from the first time that they did it tonight and that statement, it seems like this is a commercial break, but it's not being clarified what type of commercial break.
Right, and maybe this is where JR's probably still got. Well, don't let me know when you're taking commercial. Like, what? Or what kind of commercial break you're taking.
Well, I do know when they do the NASCAR, especially on Fox, they'll say the action will continue on your lower screen, or they'll mention that they're doing picture-in-picture. They don't do it all the time, but I do notice they did that a lot with Fox this year with the NASCAR.
I know WWE does the same. They just go to commercial.
For a while there, they were saying stuff, though, when they first introduced the picture-in-picture. They were, like, saying... They were kind of hyping up the idea of it on SmackDown.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the right place for this commercial break. It's a very slow, meandering match.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think Shanna actually has done a move yet.
I don't think so either.
Didn't kick out soon enough. In the 3 count. Ref's getting shit on.
Of course.
But that wasn't on the ref. That was on
Shanna.
No.
I mean...
A running punt to the ribs. How about a running kick? Oh, never mind. I can't even do it. I'm not even going to do it. Slapping her on the shoulder. Is this going to be another Brandy segment where she comes out and pushes another competitor?
Probably.
She's going to show up and very angrily point at the referee.
I don't think her head was supposed to be there.
I don't think so either.
I'll be right back, guys. Heather's going to take over with Wendy.
I think she severely hurt herself there.
Well, yeah, you think?
Oh,
I did pretty damn good on that chicken. I must say so myself.
Oh,
How's everybody doing? That's my it flops around like a rag
not
doll.
bad.
She is.
She's out.
Oh yeah.
She's exhausted.
What happens when you don't nap during the day? Remember this.
yeah.
I'm tired, Dan Rex. I am tired, but I'm okay. So glad the weekend's coming up.
This match should be the nap match.
But this is the thing. Not every match needs to be long.
It doesn't need to be long.
No, I
Go ahead, say what you're going to say.
Who?
What were you saying, Trek?
no, I was saying no. I agree. It's like I like when there's a long match, but not if it's just like freaking headlocks for 10 minutes. That could be cut out.
Oh,
Did you
Well,
say
it's also
anything,
like
Dave?
what's at stake for this match.
Right.
Nobody really knows.
Just to, I guess,
I think
showcase
this is
new
just
talent.
to showcase them to sit there and say, "Listen, we're a part of this roster too."
But that they have to say it for so long.
I agree. But this is what Cody and the Young Bucks said. There will be no short squash matches for our company. So we're going to get this
Well-
every time.
They had a short match last week with I think it was with the Best Friends, or maybe not. I can't remember.
No. It was
One of them was
LAX.
short.
It
One of
was,
the tag
it was
matches was
LAX
short.
coming out against the Jobber team. And even
Yeah.
that, it was still over 2 minutes. The point of the time limit is so that if they reach that time limit, the match ends in a draw and adds more dramatic emphasis to the match, like last week. However, it should
Yeah.
never happen in a main event.
It technically gives them other booking options. It gives them an alternate way to get out of something.
Right.
And it never really hurts a match for the most part, because giving something a 30-minute or 20-minute time limit that you know is not going to last 20 minutes, what does it matter?
Right. And Beersy, it's not just WCW. New Japan also has time limits on all their
Yeah,
matches.
well, I've been watching a lot of that on Saturday, and that's what they usually have theirs, or 15, 20, and the hour-long matches out there.
Right.
I gotta say, that Ibushi guy, he takes a beating.
Oh, yes.
Oh my! I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like every other week he's on, and he just takes a beating.
You breathe better this way. Oh, here we go. Another vignette for Brady. You guys notice that the only people that get vignettes for this company are the executives?
So far.
Yep.
But I also feel like they're trying too hard to be fucking Triple H, Stephanie McMahon.
So she's now a voodoo witch.
I don't know what she is. But this doesn't make any sense.
It does not.
Because her character was just literally seen talking about numbers and figures with Cody Rhodes in the last vignette they had with him.
Yep.
About how they go, we're going to set up a meeting. And in the background, she's like, I also summon demons while I'm in the darkness.
Right.
It would make sense if it was Rosemary being a premiere or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is really... I have a problem with this.
It was corny as fuck. Sorry.
But it doesn't make sense.
It does not.
Because her character is technically like the authority type
I am
character.
the wife of the nightmare.
But even the nightmare gimmick thing, he kind of like pushed to the side. I better not see her in some sort of corporate segment when they're in $1 million house talking over fucking breakfast tiddlywinks.
Right.
Well, you get that during the Being the Elite. Because it's usually
Yep.
Or her
It's
cooking
like-
show on a wrestling
with
channel.
MJF in their dining room, or she's with the dogs or something.
Yep. She has her own YouTube channel for that one.
Yep, shot of brandy.
Yet she's also a voodoo
Shot of Brandy is known
priestess
on
on her side.
AEW's YouTube page.
Yeah, they moved it.
Like,
Yeah.
why are you putting a cooking show on a wrestling channel?
She was eating stick of butter the one night.
Oh.
It was a
Butter
it was
is
a
good.
gag.
Fuck you, Drag.
No, I just mean that she was eating a whole stick of butter.
Yeah, that would make me probably throw up. I like those titles. They're nice.
They're simplistic, but also flashy, which is how titles
They
should
look a
be.
lot more like the old Intercontinental title when it was like black belt.
Yep.
Did you guys see what Bubba Ray said on Busted Open Radio today?
Nope.
No.
He said, "Oh, we should get rid of the WWE should get rid of the IC and the US titles because they don't mean anything more. Make up an Iron Woman and a triple or a 3-man tag team title." It's like, oh, shut up.
Fuck him. Who cares? She's a dumbass.
And that's why he doesn't work there anymore.
You just beat up.
Never
these
mind the history of
seniors.
things. It's because he wants them to get rid of it. Never mind the history behind the belts. No, it's because he thinks they should get rid of it. It's like, he's full of shit.
See, I wanted them to just like symbolically hand over the belts and that be it. But here we go.
Yeah. Oh yes, you're a couple of tough guys. You beat up 2 old men.
But here's the thing: you don't showcase your new titles by actually using them as a storyline boost for guys that are in the tag team division. Like, you look at NXT, anytime that they portrayed titles, they portrayed them as like legitimate marking points for people that want them. They look at like as legitimate championship gold. He just threw them on the ground. It's like, fuck, man.
And it takes the Young Bucks
I
that
like the tag titles. They kind of remind me of the old school WWE tag titles.
Yeah, they're nice titles. It's just like I just treat the titles more with respect than like using it to be a
You're just now
storyline.
introducing these titles as an actual tangible item. And what's the first thing you do with it? Have it thrown on the floor.
in favor
Yeah,
of building up a
that's why-
tag team that's with you for now, but might not be there forever.
All right, and not only that, but yeah,
Like the titles are more
I've always
important
been one
than
of
the
those-
people vying for them.
right.
The
I've
titles are
always
the
been
one
one of those
that's
people who was
just
raised
constant.
back. I've always been raised. I was raised back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Was like you treat the titles with respect. So that's why when they used to do stuff, yeah, you just threw them on the ground. That's when they used to do the Eminem thing where you used to come and have them hanging out of their pants like dicks. It pissed me off because it was like, that's not respectful. That's disgusting.
Well, in a lot of ways, they used to use that to be like, this character doesn't really give a shit about the title,
They don't
but he
deserve the
has
title.
it. And it worked for certain characters. Like Austin used to throw the title around a little bit, right? But like when you first show the title, and NXT has done this, when they present a title, it's on a pedestal and they're showing it off as saying, this is what you're looking for. We're not turning it into a catalyst for a storyline about the 2 tag teams. This is bigger than 2 tag teams. It's your whole tag team division's goal.
Yes.
I don't know.
Right.
Well, I mean, look at all the shit that
It
they
was like
gave Roman for throwing it over his shoulder, carrying it like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with it after it's been establish what it is. But like Roman Reigns throws it over his shoulder because it kind of works with his character or the character they're trying to show us from him. But
Well, you see,
I mean,
people sit there and miss the story with that because at that time it was Roman versus all, one versus all.
Yeah.
So with him doing that, that's basically him sitting there per storyline without it being said. Him sitting there saying, "I am the one with the target on my back. Come and get it."
and also the rest of the roster in the back looking at him, which are looking at the title, walking out to the ring.
Exactly.
Right? There's purpose to some of the things that they do, and they usually do it character-wise, and I'm okay with. But I don't like the idea of what they just did here. It's a nitpick. It's not going to ruin anything for me or anything like that. But I don't like the idea of portraying the titles second to the actual tag teams.
Yeah, because the titles are what the tag
And I
teams
agree.
are supposed to be fighting for.
Right.
I agree.
Well, when I was a kid, it was also Ultimate Warrior would come out and swinging around them. I'm like, even as a kid, I'm like, that's not very cool. That
But
wasn't respectful.
I don't like that kind of stuff. I don't mind. Like
That's in the moment excitement. Look at Seth Rollins when he beat Brock the first time for the WWE title.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they have to carry it in like a glass case or anything like that. Once the title's
No.
established, they can use it as their character sees fit, as long as it makes sense for the character. But this title is not established, and before it got established, it got thrown on the floor.
It's the debut of the title, and it's treated like trash already. But yet the tag team division is supposed to be the second most division within the company. I mean, come on.
So LAX just used the tag titles to make their characters stronger heels. But they're not even get the title, so I don't understand.
I think with what they did, I think what it is with that is they're trying to set up with the SCU, because we all know by now that SCU is winning. I think it's setting up SCU versus LAX.
I've been listening and I've been saying, I used to think like Trek did. But with the way the basement explained that, I can agree with the Roman Reigns. I didn't like it when he carried it like a sack of potatoes. But I can see that. Makes sense.
With what both me and basement said?
What, when he carried it on his back like that?
Yeah.
I can see that. With what Seth Rollins did, or the Ultimate Warrior did,
like I said, in the moment excitement.
Ultimate
Warrior's excuse is cocaine. But we're going to move on from that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I can't really.
I think Seth Rollins was like in the moment when he did it.
Yeah.
And the belt's already established, so I don't know.
Right.
But this, and I do agree with basement 150%. I just times 10. What they did here, they've now made the titles insignificant. I would say insignificant, but they made it lower than what it's meant to be. So the pinnacle of the tag team division is to beat the shit out of LAX. That's what I got.
Yeah.
LAX is bigger than the titles.
I just feel like with their tag team division being as good as it is, you'd want to have that prestigious moment where finally the belts are unveiled and somebody gets them, or they're showcased to be gotten later in the night. But just having somebody come, like, it's kind of putting a tag team over the division.
Yeah.
Or at least it looks that way.
I agree. It's like we're...
Hold on. I get the feeling Tony Schiavone is leading him to Chris Jericho. I just get this feeling that Tony Schiavone is going to be a heel.
Yeah, it kind of looks heelish in his eyes.
See what I'm saying? Just look at the way.
I think yeah.
Like, he's going to get out, and then all of a sudden there's going to be Chris Jericho, and then Tony Schiavone's just going to stand
Yeah,
there and
you
look
get
at him
that
like,
quality too.
hey, it hit me good.
Yep.
Tony might end up being one of the judges.
You can.
He might be.
Feeling better?
Like, you can tell that's what's going to happen.
Yep.
I get that.
That's the
feeling.
vibe. That's definitely the vibe. I do like it though. I do like it.
Oh yeah.
See? That's going to be the payoff at the end of the night.
Yeah, I have a feeling.
Yeah, it's up. Like I said, it's up. I know Bruce Pritchard always says the titles are a prop, but it's like I always say, it's up to the title holder to make them feel special. And making them feel special does not include throwing them on the floor or wearing them like outside of your tights like a dick. That's
I
not
feel
how
like
you make
if you're a
special. You make
heel,
it feel
throwing it on the
wonderful.
floor at times is okay, depending on your character. Like, there's always a place for everything
Right,
in
but
wrestling.
like
Not
what?
everybody has to treat it prestigiously, but that's not really what I'm saying about the titles tonight.
No, I know what you mean.
It's Rick and Morty.
Oh my God, they have Orange
No.
Cassidy. I don't even know which one he is.
It's the front one. There you go, Bobbit.
What is happening right now?
That's fucking awesome.
Oh my god.
That is so cool. 10 stars. 10 stars.
Yep, they got
Like-
the bubble guns too.
He didn't grab me out.
I can't wait for the next season of Rick and Morty. It's gonna be awesome. I hope the best friends win.
I'm pretty sure they will. Who are they fighting? I don't even know.
I think it's tag
I don't
team
even-
from last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that one guy, that's the one from New
Is he a
York.
midget?
He's about as tall as Marco Stunt.
Run, JP.
JP, what do you think about this guy?
He's not
4'8".
He's
Are
proportional.
you sure?
I just
If
love
he's
know,
proportionate, maybe he's one of
with
those
that hair,
proportionate
Morty.
midgets. I don't know, JP. He's got Rey Mysterio syndrome.
Might have Dominic syndrome. I get his ass
So
kicked
we
all
have
match.
2 Ricks and one Morty.
Okay.
Got tag team.
Hey, Ronnie, if it's not, it's not. I mean, it's just, it's Rick and Morty's not for everybody.
AEW has a midget division now. No, it's called their regular roster. God, I hope midget wins.
Oh, they're gonna hug.
Well, he's dead.
Oh Christ! Here we go. He's got his hands in his fucking pocket. I have to wait for this guy to get pissed off in order to fucking do something. He's gonna pretend like he's gonna kick him now.
He's going to do them deadly kicks.
One.
I don't know why you're featuring.
All he did was drop kick somebody out of the ring.
Did you see how many kids on Twitter dressed up like him, though, for Halloween? Him and Darby Allin.
Allen.
I'm impressed that he can wrestle or do moves with his hands in his pockets.
Yes! Rick and Morty wins.
So, I'm just gonna say this. Still, Orange Cassidy, all he did was drop kick somebody and dive out of the ring. Fuck is
I want to have his babies.
You want to have his baby?
I don't fucking know, man.
The ref is like, which arm?
I don't know, man. I don't know what people see in this guy. I really don't. A drop kick. A drop kick. And a dive out of the ring. I'm sorry?
Pocket man. Are you sure he's not just jerking off, Ryan?
Could be.
I was going to say, or playing pocket pool.
Pocket pool.
Orange Cassidy can wrestle. It's the him pissed off to actually do something. Apparently, that did piss him off enough getting drop kicked out of the ring. I would have fucking got in the ring and fucking lost my shit. I would have brought a kendo stick. I don't know, man. I don't know. You could try and sell it to me, but I'm just not buying. Just not buying what you're selling.
Buy it.
Not doing
Love it.
No.
Want it.
Nope. Hashtag fuck that.
I want to see a match between Orange Cassidy and fucking Joey Ryan. His hands are in his pockets, man. He can't grab your cock. What are you gonna do now?
Unless his cock becomes a fucking magnet and he pulls his hands out of his fucking pocket.
Joey's got his hands full with Ken Shamrock next week.
No, I saw something where Ken Shamrock was grabbing his dick.
Yeah.
This is what wrestling has
sold
become.
The dick flip. He sold the dick flip.
And then went on Twitter and said, "I'm doing the things I like the most in my life that I've ever done in wrestling up to this point." Like, okay, yeah, sure. So you've always wanted to just grab him in his cock and flip?
What's up, Cody? I'm just not a fan of it. I watched the pay-per-view, and last night they put the title on, or it was Tuesday, they put the title on fucking Sammy Callihan.
Yeah, Tuesday, and then Tessa came out.
Why in the fuck didn't they do it at Bound for You? Why in the hell did they have a
It's gonna be
pay-per-view?
the short.
Why did they have a pay-per-view right before they moved to Access? That didn't deserve
You mean they
a...
pulled the WWE?
Hmm?
Or you mean they pulled the WWE?
Yes, they did. They
Yep.
did. I mean, look.
That sounds so familiar, Chance.
And then, of course, the rumor was Tessa was leaving, but she came out to confront him after he won it.
Yeah, which means she's going after it, which means
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. She's not winning it.
No, well,
Should-
they've got Jordiana Grace that went after Tyra, and she actually pinned her. So now they're pushing, I guess, Jordan Grace to win over Valkyrie. She pinned her Tuesday night.
Well, Ty is probably gonna leave soon anyway to go with her husband to WWE.
Yeah. I don't know
Bojangles
that,
Coliseum.
Been,
Her name.
Morrison's been training with Luchasaurus at the gyms.
Yeah.
If you see, and then they were doing that. They did one episode of that All Elite. Both of them were in one of the All Elite videos. So I mean, for him, I guess it could be either or, but I guess maybe they'll make the determination together. It just seems that they're kind of linking themselves with All Elite here as of late. Because he was in the gym. They had pictures Luchasaurus had on his Instagram. Him and Jungle Boy with him.
He's also been hanging out with Ziggler too, I think.
Nope.
Yeah, I saw the Ziggler picture, but I think that was an old picture.
No, he has been hanging out with Ziggler.
Okay. Be one of those wait and see moments.
Yes, Brian Cage, the Impact World Heavyweight Champion, kicked out of 10 pile drivers last night.
Yeah.
Sounds like WWE.
And then it was ultimately a super pile driver that did him in.
Yep.
Look at his coat or shirt or whatever.
He went to Spirit of Halloween and got that for like $5.
Here we go. This is a legit contract signing between
legit
lawyer and...
Surprised they didn't have it like they did before, where they were in the offices waiting. Cody comes in, signs it, and walks back out.
I do like their main championship belt, though.
It is very nice. A little too busy at times for me.
It kind of reminds me of the WCW championship. With the huge, big gold plate.
Jim Cornette did not like that. He even said that last night on Twitter. I don't like it when somebody fucking kicks out of 10 pile drivers. It ruins the move. Pile driver DDT should, if done properly, should end you. Let me smash your face into a mat and see if you can get up from it right away. Give me a break.
Yep.
Who makes the champion wait like this?
Cody Rhodes.
Oh yeah, he kind of is like part owner, so I guess kind of trumps the champion.
Got a sweet ass jacket on.
I like his jacket. Spooky.
Maybe you got it from Tom Hanks' character on Saturday Night Live, that Pumpkins.
Track, I can tell you right now. I can tell you right now, he went to Spirit of Halloween.
Oh God.
They have jackets
Fuck
like
that store. Comes out of nowhere, dies immediately, and then disappears.
You just needed the Mr. Peanut top hat.
Chris Jericho stole my crutch.
So from Tommaso Ciampa.
I love Jericho's face. He looks so stupid half the time.
I agree.
Did you guys see what LAX's new name is?
Nope.
Proud and Prideful.
Sure. What?
Their LAX is now calling themselves Proud and Prideful when they're in AEW.
Okay.
Proud and prideful?
Proud and prideful.
Yeah.
What? Proud and prideful.
Which makes no fucking sense because they're
Yeah.
both the same fucking thing.
Yep.
What a stupid
It's almost
fucking
as
name.
fucking bad as the Viking Raiders, all right?
Yep.
I was gonna say.
Everybody shits on that fucking name. How about this one? Proud and Prideful? Get the fuck out of here. That's the dumbest fucking name I've ever heard. That's even worse than Viking Raiders.
Yep, and they just showed it on the because when they were doing the Full Gear thing, it said Proud and Prideful versus the Young Bucks. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, how about you just use your names as your tag team, dumb shits?
It's the same, means the exact same thing.
Yep.
Stupid. Whatever, right?
What in the literal fuck is a lights out match?
It's non-sanctioned.
It's unsanctioned, yeah.
Why isn't it just called an unsanctioned match? Are they
It's
wrestling in the dark?
AEW.
Is it going to be a dark match?
No, it's like the
No,
one
the-
that they did
the-
at fucking the match between John Moxley and Joey Janela.
Why is it called a lights out match?
This is unsanctioned. It's not even sanctioned. It's stupid. It's their word. It's their term for unsanctioned.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I told Austin, I said, I'm not going all the way to Baltimore to see Kenny Omega in the dark. I mean,
You never know what's going to happen with Kenny Omega in the dark.
You don't want to be on a YouTube show, Ronnie, called AEW Dark?
Trek, shut up. The funny thing is they act like Cody's never won a world title.
I was going to say,
He won the Ring of Honor world title.
He had the one his dad won, too, the NWA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's another one.
He won TNT too.
Millennial jackasses.
I hope he doesn't win, to be honest.
I'm going to sign this contract. I'm going to teach you a lesson.
Jericho is just so fucking good. He's out there in a fucking pumpkin costume.
Looks like he looks like he squashed some Smurfs and some pumpkins.
For fuck's sakes. He's wearing like leather jeans or leather fucking ass pants. Fucking pumpkin fucking blazer.
He's got a skinny leather pants on. He's got skinny leather jeans on.
Got him Guns N' Roses Axl Rose pant.
He looks like such a
Axl
dumbass.
Yeah, Axl Rose meets David Lee Roth.
Hey, it's a JP's chant.
He probably is like one of my favorites that still wrestle.
Keeping things serious, not making a mockery out of the championship match. I were too close here. You're a true professional and I'm gonna shut me off.
He's so
And grace.
wearing a pumpkin suit.
God, it's killing me. Almost kissed. Seriously, Ryan, I'm with you.
Hager can just hit him in the nuts.
The car's
Wait, didn't
dented.
he take a jet somewhere else, or did they find him when he landed?
I don't know what's going on. Oh. And
Ooh, that was solid. Hit to the head.
that just tells me they're writing him out of shows.
Writing him off, yeah.
Decency, sportsmanship.
Well, they're building towards the Cody match, which like needed to be built towards, which is why I hated them releasing a statement saying it's going to be a 60-minute match now. But whatever, I guess they did it for the signing.
He said Happy Halloween to him.
Fucking clown.
Would have been better if he would have had a pumpkin of candy or something.
And they go to a commercial. And they have a picture-in-picture and still on.
Happy Halloween. Fucking Chris Jericho. You stupid asshole.
100% total satisfaction guarantee. Try out the network and see the savings for yourself.
My
That was a
brother.
good segment. I enjoyed
Oh,
it.
my brother.
There's a good segment again. There's some.
But again,
He's dying.
There's some little.
it's that
little,
Chris Jericho effect. He's just so good.
little things here and there.
They're acting like he's dying or something.
I know. That's kind
Well,
of
Here,
that's what
Bobby,
they think. Dominic was
let me
saying
take
last-
you, put your hands in a car door, and then slam the door shut.
All right.
It's
Alright.
Bash your head on the bumper
It
with the back
does,
quarter panel.
it does not feel good.
It hurts when you get just a finger
No.
punch. Imagine the whole fucking.
Yep.
I've
But
accidentally,
you know what? Like,
accidentally slammed Danielle's fingers in the car door once, and that kid screamed bloody murder for an hour. It hurt that bad. It hurts. I broke. I think if I remember right, I broke a couple of her fingers. Shit hurts, man.
Yeesh.
Yeah, it does.
Why is the crowd? Oh my god! This. Some people
yeah,
know
this
it's
picture in
actually
picture, they need to kind of like either just go to commercial if they're
And now
just going
they're
to show the
showing.
crowd.
Now they're fucking showing what happened.
Why is this guy doing this?
Well, I forgot what happened a few minutes ago. Thank God there's a recap for a few minutes ago.
That's for people with short-term memory.
You know what? They
Hi, my
did this
name
on
is
the
Bob.
last commercial too. I don't know if they're doing this for the arena there, but it's weird that they're showing this here.
Yes.
And I think they're just trying to capitalize on people like scanning through channels that end up
Yeah.
hitting on a commercial.
Yeah. No, there's nothing wrong with it. Hi, my name is Bob.
Which is what WWE
My
does.
name is Jeff.
Hi, my name is Bob. You get what I'm doing
Hi,
there?
Bob. How are you?
I don't know if you get what I'm doing there. Short-term memory. Got it.
Short-term memory.
Yep.
The hybrid.
The hybrid.
What?
What happened to the hybrid one?
Exactly. No, they're saying they are the two hybrids. So wouldn't it be better to say the hybrids?
Yeah, really.
I hope
We get Sammy Guevara.
I hope that this is them giving them creative control to make up their own names, because if the company is making these names up, they need
Yeah.
to be shot.
Fucking Angelico looks like he's going to Laser Quest.
Well, I'm getting ready to say. It looks like it's at a laser tag game.
This is fucking dancing in the middle of the ring.
The fuck?
Dude, it looked like two gay dudes at a trance concert. What's this?
So they stole the concept.
This is annoying. It's fun.
It's supposed to be like Undertale.
Yeah, I'm just waiting. All your base belong to us.
Come on, watch.
It is. It's a complete take on Undertale.
How many different theme songs is this asshole gonna end up with?
Okay, my night's been made.
It's Sans!
What the fuck is he doing?
This is Halloween now.
He's Sans from Undertale.
Yeah, that's what they're going with.
I don't understand. I'm not even gonna fucking.
You don't understand. You don't
I-
understand like the prop. You don't know about the property they're actually like ripping off.
Right.
No, I don't.
Because you never played.
I've never heard it.
It was
is
an
why
extremely
you
popular
have
indie
us.
game. Again, their whole thing is about capitalizing on what's the hot topic or what has been the hot topic over the year, online specifically.
Yeah, with online gaming.
Also, it's Halloween, and this is why they're doing it.
And it's.
Hey, at least he didn't come out dressed like a woman.
There's still time for that.
Yeah.
Don't ruin my night. Jasmine was enough.
And
And of course,
and here's Ken and Ryu.
Killing the butts of business. They okay, like They look like they're about to be in a gay porn version of fucking Street Fighter. Cockfighter.
You know who's winning this match.
The people that came dressed up into the ring.
He's the hybrid too, especially on Helical. Looks like he's going to a game of virtual
Fucking,
Tron.
I'm telling you, Laser Quest.
No, looks like he's going to play a game of virtual Tron.
Yeah, when you go into those laser tag things, and that's how you identify who you're shooting at.
Fucking hell, man. He's got to calm that shit down.
Oh my god, I don't know if I can watch this match.
Well, you're gonna. I guarantee you they're gonna do Hadouken at some point. I can already see it happening.
They're going to do what?
That fucking Hadouken from Street Fighter where he throws the fireball out of his hands.
Oh,
It's gonna
yeah, I
happen.
see that happen.
Street fucker. Yeah, right. That was good. I like that one.
Who is this guy? Kip Sabian?
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't come out with the bare head.
I know which one. My legs aren't right.
That's her. Ah! There we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
God, I wonder if Kenny's luggage got lost at the airport.
Sorry?
I said it looks like Kenny's luggage got lost at the airport.
Does.
Like, I don't really know what Kenny Omega's actual gimmick is. Like, I kind of know more about him as a person than I know about his gimmick in the ring. Is he Terminator?
right?
Is he in the game player? Is he one of the best wrestlers in the world? What is he? Does he? I don't know. Does he fuck ass? Nobody knows these answers.
I'm pretty sure he's always fucked ass, especially Ibushi's.
Do you know for sure? Man, I've seen them use a Hadouken in a match in New Japan, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna do it again here in AEW.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Seems fitting. So they don't really look like them anymore, except for the headband. This is gonna be a very flippy match. I'm telling you right now, with these two teams,
I know.
Jack Evans, fucking
Why?
Angelico, and the Young Bucks.
Not even paying attention, really. Sorry.
Tried to kick him on the outside.
Sorry, I was messaging my mom. She's flying to New Mexico today, so
She's in a what?
she's flying to New Mexico today.
Oh, damn.
So I was just making sure that she got on her flight and shit. 'Cause she hasn't flown since 9/11.
Is it a vacation?
Yes, she is. She just took a vacation, getting away
Nice.
from. She's going to visit one of her best friend's kids. She
Nice.
passed away, so she's going down to visit her daughter, who is the same age as me. We grew up.
I'll be right back.
Oh, I saw The Rock's going to be at UFC 244 this weekend.
Say it again.
The Rock's going to be presenting the championship belt at 244 for UFC this weekend at Madison Square Garden. Him along with Donald Trump, who's got VIP seating.
He's the president. It's good publicity. I mean, Rock's probably not doing it for WWE, but the WWE will make mention of it. It is what it is. If they don't, they don't. But whatever. It's been an alright show. I mean, can't complain. It's been decent. It's been alright.
I would say this is probably like it's weird because they kind of switched gears with this one. It hasn't been as wrestling centric as the others.
No, and I will say that it has been a little bit more storyline driven, which is okay because it's okay.
They did kind of need to go a little bit more in the storyline direction anyway, in my mind. So I've enjoyed the show. I do think that like the matches, like the wrestling portion, hasn't been as good as it could be, just because they're showcasing some of their roster that's not that great at times.
Right, and I will say this, that if you notice, the storylines revolve around the wrestling. The wrestling doesn't revolve around the storylines. I think I'm saying that right. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes exactly what you're saying is true.
Which is what I wish WWE would do a little bit more of. They're trying to, but their wrestling, their storylines are so fucking bad, the wrestling just sucks.
It just falls flat because it means
it
nothing.
does. It does.
Storylines are fucking ass.
NXT, it's better. It's way better. I know that NXT, they have the tag team titles. The women's tag team titles are tonight. I do know.
Yeah, Asuka and Kyrie have already been trending.
I'm excited to see what NXT is going to actually bring to the table.
Right.
I feel like this match has mainly been Kip Sabian getting his ass kicked for 10 minutes.
Well, he just did a Hurricane Rana pile driver or whatever the fuck that is. Well,
The
that
reverse
was bad.
Hurricane Rana.
He had to wait for.
I mean, I think AEW could have gotten away. Well, maybe not, but I remember Lucha Underground having a tag titles for like 3-man teams, and that was what Bully Ray was saying, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could work. It's just it doesn't need to happen. I'd rather have the third. Like he's got to stop doing that snap fucking dragon suplex. Because I think he's done that move so much in the last couple of weeks. Okay, that was what in the fuck?
Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck that was about.
That was terrible.
What, where he shot them all down?
Well, he basically stood up and snapped his fingers, and they all fell down after he hit them all with the Suplexes.
Yeah, it's stupid.
That's the Broadway part of it that I don't want to see.
The cheesy bullshit. That's overboard cheesy.
Well, you're killing the understanding of it actually being a fight, and this is what I worry with AEW. They run that line really close to us just watching it as performance art instead of thinking it's actually somewhat real.
Right. Here we go with the freaking Terminator bullshit.
I still, no matter what anybody says, would have loved to see Kenny Omega in WWE.
I agree.
I would have too.
And it's mainly just because, like, anything else I was going to see is the same Kenny Omega I've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted that change for him and, well, for me, not for him. I don't give a fuck. For me as a viewer, but whatever.
And everybody said they would have ruined it. I guarantee he'd be fucking fighting Seth Rollins right now.
He'd be AJ Styles level. But I think if I was them, I would have put him in NXT first, I think, because his promo skills are not great. But again, at his age, are they really going to change?
Would have made him a janitor.
Well, AJ.
The cleaner's here. And you only see him in the back sweeping. He never actually wrestles.
Mop the bucket.
You're paying the janitor like $10 million a year.
Come out with the cleaner scrubs on.
The thing about these matches with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, they end so anticlimactically because you know they're going to win in the end.
You know what it is? It's the fact that I've seen them before so many times. I would say the same thing for the New Day. Like I've seen them wrestle so many times.
Homicide
that
and fucking Young Bucks getting their ass beat by the fucking LAX.
Pride.
No, it's pride in plural.
Pride. Yeah, get the name straight.
WWE's or AEW's version of the Viking Raiders.
No, man, pride in plural.
Let's call them Dumb and Dumber.
I think they're good, but I just don't like the fucking just the dumb. Everybody, again, it goes back to the fucking WWE. They changed the name of the Viking Raiders for Pride and Pride.
Why are those cheers stuck together?
Makes no sense.
There was additional seating added. I want to see their ticket.
I want to see their ticket. Show it to me.
Hold it up like the crucifix. And I was thinking too with the Dustin Rhodes thing, he's got a movie or something coming out, so I'm wondering if he's going to be off doing promotions and stuff, and that's why they're going to write him out.
A cheap spot for a fucking t-shirt.
Well, they are the merch freaks now.
Yeah. That was a joke that was done better by somebody else. So, I'm sorry, AEW. But
I'm waiting for the thong underwear to be the next one.
Well, they are a t-shirt company.
Fuck fantasy basketball.
I don't even want to know.
Fuck everything.
They've tagged. You're talking about the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, Ronnie? In the chat, you said they did it for Fyter Fest. They all three tagged before.
The Hadouken.
Yeah, the Hadouken thing.
Oh yeah. You riding a motorcycle?
Did you just say you're riding a horse cycle?
Got it.
I was talking.
No, that's right. That he said too. It came across that way.
I was talking to my daughter. She was doing this. Said, "What are you riding a motorcycle?" Dumbass.
And my picture-in-picture froze.
Uh-oh.
I just got super kick frozen on my screen.
Yeah. Yeah. They emphasize the super kick.
Okay, let me ask you this question: the finisher for the Young Bucks, what is it?
It's like a. One of them jumps off the top rope and they stand in that like package pile driver thingy.
It's that pile driver combo thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because literally half their moves are finishers.
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's why I essentially don't like the Young Bucks. Oh fuck!
It kind of seemed like
God.
arrogant assholes.
No.
Oh shit!
Yes. Yes. What is it? Oh yes.
I'm still on the replay.
Like, why is he wearing this? The thing is with this character, it's go away heat. It's not actual good heat.
No. Leva Bates even said she doesn't care for the gimmick right now because she thinks Peter Avalon's great, but he annoys the shit out of her. But Leva Bates is terrible in the ring.
I just hate everything about what's going on here.
Fucking John Moxley. He's got a bottle of water. And he throws it in the air. He's going to Triple H it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a guy who won't.
I just hate his face. Not Moxley, the fucking Avalon.
Nah, I'm with you.
It's like I have to look through like a fisheye lens to understand how his features work. And he's dead.
That chick looked like she wanted to give him a blowjob.
Well, she probably does.
But he's a married man. Actually, I have no idea if he is or not. I don't give a
Yes,
fuck.
he is.
He
He's
is.
married to Renee Young.
Okay.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Lights out, baby. Fight in the dark.
Which makes no sense.
Does he fight?
I don't know about that.
I don't think you will win, but you probably will, because Kenny Omega's now a jobber. not a jobber, but he's putting over fuck it. Moxley's gonna win this match. In my mind, seems pretty obvious.
Just say. I disagree.
I wish they built his character up a bit more to cut this promo. Because it's a good promo, it's just like his character doesn't seem at the level to cut it.
Right. Just. I don't know.
Well, they're making him kind of like Stone Cold.
They're attempting.
They're attempting a new age version of that, I think.
Yes.
I just feel like if they held off on this promo until he established himself a bit more in ring for the
It'd be
company
more
he's
effective.
fighting with, it would actually mean more. But it was a good promo. It just, I wish it would have happened later on.
Agreed.
But they're building him up, and they're building him up the best way he can be built up. What we're seeing is basically the greatest version of Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
It was a nice promo. My fear is, and it's done. He said it himself. He is being pigeonholed as a guy that can't be sanctioned in a match. Which means he'll never be able to win a title in AEW.
Well, I don't even know if it, like, in context, if that even makes sense.
It don't. Because
I think this is my argument with it.
The thing is that it don't count. But how can it not count? If you're going to put it on TV and it not count, I don't understand that.
Well, no, the way I look at it is, like, he's in the world of professional wrestling, he's not the guy I think of when I think of somebody that can't be sanctioned to have a match. He has not established that. Like, I look to more towards Sami Callihan as someone you would put in his position and would probably do a more believable job of being someone that you would not sanction a match for because of his past within the wrestling and within wrestling in the last couple of years. Right. But you look at Moxley, what has he really done that makes him unsanctionable?
I don't know. Nothing?
What has he actually done? He put Kenny Omega through fucking sugar glass, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, and then when they first brought him on, I mean, he did that, like that hardcore match with Joey Janela.
Yeah, but
how does that make him unsanctionable, but Joey Janela is? And Darby Allin and Jimmy Havoc.
Like, in order for me to say he's unsanctionable, he should have had a match with like Darby Allin or one of those hardcore guys where like they were kayfabe injured in it. And because of his brutality in that match, he's become unsanctionable. And they're not willing to give him another match against anybody else unless it doesn't count.
The whole thing, the whole match with Joey Janela was not. I didn't think it was that hardcore that it deserved to be unsanctioned. That makes sense.
Well, I think the Joey Janela Kenny Omega match was a little bit more brutal than the one with him and Moxley.
So is Kenny Omega unsanctionable now?
Right, and that's where I guess we're trying to lead to.
But that don't make any sense. So that's what I think. That's ultimately what Basement's saying, is that he hasn't really established himself as being unsanctionable.
I think it would have made more sense to look at like the history that these guys both have, especially with Kenny Omega's more recent matches, and say, I can't sanction a match between the both of you because what might happen between the both of you, instead of just being like, because John Moxley's in this, it's unsanctionable, which doesn't make any sense really to me. It seems like a forced storyline more than something that happened naturally or over time. Everything's moving too fast in AEW, is all I'm going to say. Like,
Right.
they're jumping the gun to make things make sense, and it's like, wait a little bit. Let things simmer over time. But anyways,
Yes,
now
sir.
we're ready for these tag team championships.
With
Aubrey.
everybody's favorite ref.
Aubrey.
Ooh, that was a good one. I wish we could get her to spit out that shit.
I know.
You're okay, baby. You're okay. Yeah. Yeah, there's this. Do you want to come and say hi to everybody?
He sounds better than earlier.
Yeah, it's the Motrin kicking in. It's just
Yeah.
all that inflammation just got sucked right down so she can breathe.
You want to come over here and say hi to everybody?
She was at her sippy cup again, so she's all covered in grape flavored water.
Green
hi. Say hi. Say hi.
Hi, Wendy.
Say hi. Hi. Say hi. You want to go? You want to walk a little
Hi,
bit more?
Wendy.
She wants to go walking. That's what she thought. There she goes.
I
There she
do
goes.
like how they showed the other tag teams that were involved in the tournament watching.
Yes.
That's a nice touch.
Oh, what, you want to go back now?
But I honestly feel like it was Frankie Kazarian. Who the fuck was injured?
Christopher Daniels.
Christopher
Richard
Daniels.
Daniels. Do you think he's gonna like play a part?
No, he's legit hurt. He's
Oh,
got
he's
a
legit hurt. Oh,
yeah,
shit.
He's got a legit injury.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I mean, he might come out and distract, but I don't. I expect this to be the match of the night.
I hope so. This has been a more like, kind of like a more toned down AEW from what I've seen in recent weeks.
It's more
wrestling
of a what?
wise.
It's more of
like
what?
toned down.
Yeah.
It's not like they're balls to the wall in this one.
Yes.
Which I'm not against. I think like the pacing has been better in this than the other one.
This match here will be balls to the wall though, because it is a championship match.
It makes sense.
And
I'm okay going balls to the walls on the last match.
It should be balls to the wall.
It should be. I agree.
No, thank God we're not playing a drinking game because that was a false finish.
And it's a main event, so it shouldn't be a DQ.
Oh, this match has to have a winner.
It has to have a winner. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I know.
Already.
Yeah, I know.
With the false finish already.
Yeah, that's why I said. These are probably the Lucha Brothers are one of the better tag teams in the world. SCU is up there. Apparently, this is the tag team that they have now. Christopher Daniels has kind of taken a back seat, but I think Christopher Daniels and Kazarian were a really good tag team.
Well, he's another one. When he was in Impact, he did a lot of those high risk, and the shit's catching up with him too.
But he's older than me. He's almost 50.
Yeah, yeah, he's closer to my age.
I think Christopher Daniels, where they've got him, he's talent. He's VP of Talent Relations. So he's in charge of, the talent, whatever, looking for new talent and stuff. And Jim Ross helps him with that on the business side of things. But I will say this, SCU is better at being heels than they are babyface. I'm going to say that now.
So I'm assuming AEW is going to come out with one other title
Sooner or later they will.
for the mid card.
They're going to have to.
They have to, yeah.
I'd
got a 2-hour TV show.
I'd let them establish their main suit. And
Well, that's what they're doing now. They're establishing the difference.
I'm going to tell everybody right now, if you have not seen NWA Power, it's only 4 episodes in, but they do it perfectly. They make the mid-card title the stepping stone to the world title, which is how things should be done, and they aren't done that way anymore. That's what I think.
Right.
Well, I've even liked how they've done the interviews because it goes back to when it was Tony Schiavone and
they just,
Jim Ross.
Behind that desk.
It is the old Saturday night WCW Saturday night set.
Right. Oh, that was on TBS. Yeah.
But I feel like the mid card title should be that title that's held probably for the longest because it's establishing a star.
Mm-hmm.
Where the world title can kind of change hands at times just because there's already established stars. So like someone having a year-long fucking intercontinental run or whatever the mid-card is kind of gets them to that point where they deserve the title shot.
Right, and that's what NWA is doing, I think, and I like it. Now that being said, James Storm, who holds the national heavyweight title, he's already a star. And he don't need that mid-card title. He should be in the main event picture. They wanted to establish that belt. So for him to hold it, that doesn't bother me.
Well, see, I look at it this way. Like, when you have something that's, division-based, and it all becomes division-based, or should be, okay, so say Ricochet holds the Intercontinental title. I would have done this with him anyway. Had him hold the IC Championship or US Championship for a year and pretty much beat everybody that's in that division. That qualifies you for getting a chance at the next division champion. And if you lose, you still end up in the next division, but you end up at the bottom of the barrel.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
That's why I like the ranking system. I think there's a lot of worth in a ranking system for wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Well, and even the names that you're seeing in NWA now, like last night, Tuesday night, Nick Aldis was in that picture with James Storm. Of course, you got Colt Cabana. And then I guess there's others that they have now signed too.
Well, Eli Drake. I like Eli Drake. Trevor Murdoch is there. Connor said I would probably like it, and he was right. I enjoyed the absolute shit out of it. For me, and it's under an hour. It's like 48 minutes long, and it's wrestling centric. And they do little bitty promotions, like promos, and their promos are like 2 minutes long.
Right, and it comes on at 6 our time here, which is right before the AEW Dark. But I just kind of like it because, like I said, it reminds me of that TBS WCW when Tony Schiavone and them were behind that desk, and that feel for the little arena or little place that they're doing the show, and it just gives that all that feel of what I used to watch on Saturday nights.
It is very good. I'm just saying, if you haven't watched it, it's only 4 episodes in. It's worth a watch.
Mm-hmm.
So I highly suggest it. I've seen 3 episodes. I'm midway through the 4th episode right now. And they're establishing their stars, much like AEW should be doing. Plus, they started telling stories right away. They didn't just wrestle. They actually told stories. The 10 pounds of gold, kind of, but you can kind of tell that story already. All you got to do is listen to their promos, and it tells you, the story. Like the match between Tim Storm and Nick Aldis that happened, I think it was on the debut episode. Is that correct, or was it the second episode? Hey, debut episode. Very first episode. Tim Storm was the inaugural NWA champion when they brought it back. And I'm talking, it's the old NWA World Heavyweight title. So it's.
I hate Aubrey.
I do too. Don't feel bad. That's why I'm just trying to ignore.
It's like she's at a photo shoot constantly.
Right, I know. But we'll talk about that for sure on Saturday. For sure, over on the Horny Joe. We'll talk about it real quick. I enjoy it. Like Ronnie said, it gives me that old feel of when I was a little kid watching wrestling with my grandfather. That and the AWA. Baron von Raschke and all those guys.
Great. Ganya.
Jock Itch Jim.
No. Bruiser Brody.
Ball Sweat McGee.
I'm gonna fucking.
No, you won't.
Yes, it will.
No, you won't.
But it's just another promotion out there that when people say, oh, they're going to NWA or they're going to AEW, I mean, NWA is out there. Yeah. And people are signing to that. I mean, Eli Drake, everybody thought
that was a botch. You're gonna see it in a second.
Yeah.
He powerbombed himself on the apron.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Typical DDT that happens today. Another typical DDT that happens today.
Hey, Daddy? Nope.
You fucking drunk or something? I've got 3 minutes left, man. Unless they're gonna run over a little bit. It's been an alright show. This is probably there's that goddamn.
I feel like this is more of what we can expect to get on a weekly basis with AEW. Instead of like all these crazy fucking things happening, these balls to the walls matches.
But this match kind of needs it.
No, I agree. I just don't want to see the whole show taken up with it. It gives that much more impact to something that's stepping above.
Mm-hmm.
This just felt like more of like what I have a feeling their like baseline is going to be. Which I would say that this AEW to me has been a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I can agree with that. 6.5, 7. I can go with that.
Like the wrestling has been good, but also there was points where they're building storylines and stuff like that.
There has to be a winner, so we aren't gonna.
Yeah, it can't be a draw because we have to determine the champion tonight.
Hey, chew on that one. See if it fucking shocks you. Dumb shit.
Holy shit, as if they've never seen that. Meanwhile,
Yeah, that annoys me whenever they start saying "holy shit" for everything. It's like, come on.
He's eating a cable.
Yeah.
I don't know
Well, they said the
why.
chance at the end of Raw Monday night with Lana and Lashley was, "This is weird."
Yeah.
I think it was because Rusev was below him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were making it.
Yeah,
It
holding
was just. It
himself.
was weird, man. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it was, but and I we talked about it on Saturday, but god damn it, people wanted the fucking Attitude Era.
And that's what it is.
He got it back.
Well, that was a shit finish. I'm just gonna throw that out.
That is. Yep.
That was
That's
Not
why
there
you
yet.
be careful what you wish for, because you're
a good
fans.
finish. I don't know if I.
they were probably sat there and told
Well,
her to
they
go home.
probably told her to go home because it's 8:59.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, you don't finish the match that after a tournament that is going to award somebody with the first ever tag champions with a schoolboy.
No, and I agree with you.
A roll up
That was bad.
won this match. Bad. To me, that's a bad call.
I'm going to say
that's-
this right now.
That's a bad call.
If this was done in WWE, we've been
Mhm.
shit all
over.
over.
They'd be shit on it.
Get snakeskin for the belts.
Like this is the thing, like, and they use it in all wrestling industries where they have the schoolboy or the roll up being used to keep one team strong while also giving a team a victory.
Mhm.
They didn't need to do that here.
No.
These guys could have won fair and square, and I don't think it really would have hurt the Lucha Bros at all.
Mm-mm. Not the right. The right guys won, just not the right finish.
Yep.
That was not a very smart finish.
No, I am against the finish 100%, and
Oh.
it's the one thing that unfortunately I'll end up taking away from the match because the match itself was okay.
Jesus.
We're gonna have a
But
lot of
a
fun
match
tomorrow
We're
built
night.
gonna
on
have a
the
lot.
first
We're gonna
ever-
have some fun tomorrow night. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
A match built on the first ever champion needs to actually have a legitimate finish. Like they did the tag team titles dirty in this whole fucking thing.
They did, and I cannot disagree with that.
From start to
Again,
finish,
the right team won. Just I didn't like the finish. Not a good finish. Not a good finish. Didn't they have a championship match? Championship match ended like that. Women's title match ended like that too.
I want to go through and look
Yeah.
at percentages because they're statistical and all that now. I want to go and see how many matches ended in a schoolboy for them because I think it's damn near 75% of their matches.
Not last week. For Scorpio, this match called for a little bit of a bigger finish than a schoolboy. This is the problem that AEW.
The culmination of a fucking tag team tournament ends in a roll up.
Yeah.
For the first time, it's not just a tag team tournament. It's for the first ever AEW tag team champs.
Yeah.
That seems so anticlimactic.
Yeah, I cannot disagree with that. No. I enjoyed the show. I just didn't like. Again, this is like the third week in a row I have not liked the way they have finished.
I feel like for me, it's like I might call them like certain things I'm nitpicking, but I don't think this is that much of a nitpick. This is something that yes, WWE would get lambasted over. You're gonna create a new title and you're gonna create a tournament behind it, and it's gonna end in a roll up.
Yeah,
they are getting murdered on Twitter.
right now.
No, I would say that if WWE was to do this,
Oh,
they would be murdered on Twitter.
right. I mean, what NXT is giving you right now, probably, I don't know what the finish is, but the match is they again. Do you want me to tell you what the main event is?
Is it gonna ruin everything for me?
No, not necessarily.
It's just who's in
Well,
the
I
match,
mean-
not how the match is going.
It's
Okay, yeah, I'm okay with that. I don't know
Undisputed
about anybody
Era
else.
versus Matt Riddle and Keith Lee.
I ain't watching it.
Undisputed Era versus
Bullshit.
Matt
Matt
Riddle
Riddle,
and
that's
Keith
fine.
Lee.
It's just Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. At least I think that's what it is. Because that's who I seen. I seen Matt Riddle and Kyle O'Reilly in the ring. And if you don't want to see Kyle O'Reilly and Matt Riddle wrestle, I don't know what's wrong with you.
I think they're building up to the.
Matt Riddle wrestle.
I don't know, why do you hate Matt Riddle so much? I don't understand the hate.
Shut up, your child's up.
I just do not stand him.
Why though? What?
I think
why
they're
not?
building up to the Keith Lee versus fucking Roger Strong.
You look.
I was the same way when he was in UFC and MMA when he was coming up in the ranks.
But why though? I don't.
It's just he just thinks he is so entitled. He thinks he deserves everything.
But that's his character. See, that's where
I
people.
understand it, but he was the same way in MMA. I mean, he literally in an interview when he was up and coming. When you sign a contract with UFC,
Mhm.
they give you 3 fights.
Yeah.
And because he was on pre-shows or preliminaries, as they called them,
Mm-hmm.
he was pissed with Dana White. He wanted to be in that mid-card main event right off the bat. But the
Bro.
problem was he kept failing the drug test.
Okay.
So they kept the deal, but they just put him on the prelim shows.
Okay.
And
The thing is-
he was pissed about it. And that was one of the reasons that he did leave, because he didn't think he was being used or utilized to his potential. But it wasn't because of the person or the how he was in the ring. It was because he kept failing the drug test.
Okay.
That was what kept disqualifying him.
Okay.
The problem is, on drugs, he's better than most people.
Yes.
And that was one of the things he said in an interview, which got a lot of people heated, is he does that so he doesn't beat his wife and child. And they didn't take kindly to it.
Okay. Well, that being said, he loves his family. I think he said that in haste. I don't think he really would ever lay a hand on his family. He's the most mellow guy. And
Well, he's mellow because he smokes weed.
well, he don't smoke weed no more.
No, he
No.
don't smoke it anymore.
No, which it's his character. His character is that guy. He's not arrogant. Well, he should be arrogant because he is that fucking good, and I don't mind it.
He just reminds me of Matthew
epitomizes-
McConaughey.
For me,
He does.
for me, it epitomizes.
All right.
It epitomizes everyday people. Kids love the guy. Teenage boys like this guy. Not because he fucking smokes weed or because he personifies it, but it's not.
He's the bruh.
He's the guy in Fast Times at Ridgemont High that Sean Penn created as the character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it's a
Oh,
character,
yes.
and he plays off of his past transgressions. Which
And we get another week with Adam Cole.
no, you don't get Adam Cole. Adam Cole's not.
Yes, he is. He's at the very end.
Oh, okay.
He's
Well,
been on every week.
so you know where it's going, but
I
look,
know where it's going.
look, get what you're saying, Ronnie. It didn't ruin my childhood. I think Matt Riddle personifies my childhood. What I would have loved to have seen with a wrestler during my childhood. We didn't get that. We had fucking Hulk Hogan.
We had Hulk Hogan.
Eat your vitamins or I'm gonna fuck your mom.
Take your vitamins.
I
Eat your
do
raw
get
eggs.
what you're saying. I just don't understand the hate. I just don't understand the hate. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But I don't think he is that person. I think he just says that to get
A reaction.
a reaction. Whatever.
That's what every
It's
wrestler does.
yeah. Well, he in UFC he did it, but then again, I think in all actual reality, he deserved to be where he said he should be because he is that. Conor McGregor does the exact same thing that Matt Riddle did.
Well, see, I'm not a Conor McGregor fan either.
Well, I'm not either, but Matt Riddle's more mellow about it. So he's just
Conor
like
McGregor actually comes off like a fucking crusty asshole.
he is.
Right, and he is a total. I mean, even you can see even when they had that YouTube video came out where he punched the guy in the bar. That you know that's the kind of guy he is in real life. And now he's coming out of retirement, and now he wants to fight Nate Diaz. Now he wants to fight Khabib, and the talks are they're putting him in the ring with Cowboy Cerrone
Okay.
if they can get the inner workings.
Yes, Dory, it was with a fucking roll up, and it is what it is. We already talked about it. We shit all over it, and and we said it. If WWE would have done this, people would have shit all over it. This is the kind of stuff that they do, and this is like 3 weeks in a row for me on AEW. Although they have been good, I'm not. Overall, the show was fantastic. It's the endings that they need to work on because the endings. I would have honestly ended last week's show with what they did with Jericho and fucking Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
It would have. The crowd was going fucking nuts. At the end of the fucking night, you end it with a fucking draw.
Yeah, the booking decisions is where I
Yes.
kind of like find
That's where
their
this
flaw.
show is lacking, but they are a new company and they are learning.
Well, this is 3 weeks in a row.
The thing is, like, the things that they're learning seems to me at times self-explanatory. If I've never experienced a day in the fucking business at all and watched it and said, you don't want to create a tag team tournament and hype it up for the first ever tag teams and end in a roll-up. That seems like you don't need to learn that
Right.
if you know anything about wrestling. That's like staring you right in the face. We should not do this. But I mean, this is the thing that right now they get the I don't know, they get a lot of leeway for a lot of what they're doing under the guise of, you know, they'll change or they could change and very well might. But for something like
There are
this,
some
it's hard
things that
for
leave a
me.
bad taste in the mouth. Yes.
Yes, and this is one of those things. The endings of these shows have been WCW booking personified. You can't tell me that that's not what WCW did because if you go back and watch WCW shows, it's kind of how they book their shit.
Yeah, but Dory, they also had the first ever tag belts fucking be introduced and get attacked and
then
thrown to
on
the side.
floor.
Hi, Wendy. Hi,
Rick
Wendy.
and Morty stuff also WCW. I don't care about Rick and Morty, so I don't care. Best segment of the night again with Chris Jericho and Cody Rhodes. Match for me was the end. The final match just did not like to finish. I'm gonna go.
I felt the wrestling in general was worse this show than the rest,
Yes.
but they kind of supplemented it with being better at having those segments that they need to tell a story, which is why I still give it like what I would give it. But at the same time, I don't know, man. They're trying to find their groove for what works best for them, and this is when I say they're a new company and I give leeway to, but not like idiotic decisions that anybody that watches or knows anything about wrestling would have not made.
Right. So I mean, I'm with Basement. I don't know if the ending to that match would drop it, but I'm right in there with Basement from earlier, 6 to 7 out of 10.
Yeah, somewhere in that range. It could be a 7. It could be a 6. I think 6.5 to 7, and it's mainly because of the treatment of the tag team titles.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I didn't like. The rest of the show was all right.
I'm going to go with Bobbitt's scoring. It was a 10 because Kenny Omega was on.
Oh,
Hi, Wendy.
so what do you give it? That you're gonna go with what, Ronnie? Come on.
I'll go 6. I'll go 6, but I was just saying, just
Thank you.
jokingly, I go 10 because of Kenny.
You're gonna go.
I'll go 6.
Okay, that's fine. Trek, what about you?
I'd say there too. Yeah, about 5 or 6 out of 10. Not bad at all. The tag match was probably the best one, but the ending was shitty. But I know it was a good match. Not a bad night.
You're okay. Bobbitt, in all seriousness, what do you give it?
I give it a 7.
Okay.
I will say that this is probably the worst weekly television show that they put out yet. In comparison to the other ones, this is probably the worst, but the best paced.
Yep.
So that's why I have to give it what it's getting.
And the other thing is too, this was I guess a new arena for them because this was in Charleston, West Virginia tonight, and this was their first time there. So even with the crowd, it was new to them.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that had kind of a factor with it as well.
It's a step in the right direction for how they are going to not book, but like pace a show. But at the same time, the show under-delivered in comparison to the rest of the shows that they've had.
Correct.
In the ring, at least, for me.
That's you can put that on the way that they have I would say overbooked, but I would say the way they have gone, like we were talking, they go full out in their first 4 shows, and then they kind of
You're gonna hit that
back.
underwhelming aspect of it because you can't always fucking be in the most brutal match ever. Before the most brutal match ever is just a regular match, and then you're fucked because you set the expectation. You set the bar too high.
Yep.
And then next week's supposed to be their go home show type right before the pay-per-view.
I hope they don't do, because if you've noticed, go home shows. We don't.
I don't want to see the match before the pay-per-view.
No, I
don't think we have to worry about that.
The only thing, like what they did last week, I would have done it at go home.
Yeah, the whole ticket thing seems like the right thing to do. Like, I would have flipped those segments.
Correct.
I would have had them sign the contract, and then the ticket thing happen, and then the pay-per-view.
Yep. But you can't.
Because I realistically don't know what they're going to use. Like, now they're going to use the angle of Goldust being hurt by them. That's the final.
Well, that's going to be the fuel that sparks Cody to.
Well, Well, see, if that's what fuels Cody, then he shouldn't be in the world title picture. Him winning the world title should be what fuels.
Well, he was already fueled. Okay, so the storyline that I've told you has already been fueled for winning the world title, and they've said it multiple times. I think this is just like the last nail in the coffin to finally get him unhinged.
Yeah.
And this storyline has happened. Like literally a 3-month storyline took place in 4 weeks. So it's definitely too fast for everything that's going on in my mind. But they went with it.
Right. And the thing of it is, I mean, you figured you had the pay-per-view in November. They just started television in October, and they've got a limited schedule in December before their next big event, which will probably be in January, February.
Right. And that will probably be double or nothing type deal again or whatever. But hey, it was a good show. I just didn't like the ending. It was okay.
It's definitely not a Raw where I can't pay attention to it because I want to die.
I mean, I wasn't paying attention to the Young Bucks match because I don't care about it.
Well, I mean, for the Young Bucks, I feel like you've seen one, you've seen them all, because they kind of hit the same strides.
Yeah.
They're fun for a live audience, but a reoccurring video audience, they kind of fall down after a while.
Yeah, I agree with that. Don't forget, tomorrow we will be here. We kind of talked about it a little bit, but we're actually going to do a live watch along to NXT. It'll be probably a little later than tonight because we'll have to wait until NXT goes live and then it goes to video on demand.
Right. So what I did tonight is I actually taped it, and I do see that they're re-airing it now.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just basically just taped the live show and just went a little bit further because last week it cut off and I missed the Finn Balor stuff.
So they air it on Thursday at 10 o'clock p.m. EST. Depending on where you are, that's where they air it or when they air it.
Yeah.
And I think that's when you're going to start watching it, right, JP?
Are you going to be around to start watching it?
Like we said before, I mean, I might be, or I might just join in with you guys half an hour in or 15 minutes in.
Okay, well we'll start when it goes live on USA. Because
it's just easier for No, it goes live on the network.
It goes live on the network.
WWE Network.
USA, I meant the network. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Because I wasn't sure either, so I just wanted to make sure I had it, so that's why I recorded
it. Yes, it goes live at 9 o'clock our time on the network.
Okay, so it would be 10 our time. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll probably either join in for the start of it or I'll join in a little bit after the fact. But definitely, at least it makes sense for anybody that's watching you to kind of like queue in at the same time because it's basically live again.
Right.
Essentially, yes.
Right. The only thing I would have would just be the commercials.
Yeah,
the commercials weren't that bad though. We watched it live on the network the other week, and like, I don't know how they really did it. Because they don't air the same commercials that are on USA.
Yeah.
They air like WWE commercials.
WWE commercials.
Yeah.
But we will be live for that probably at 9 o'clock my time. Everybody said they should be here.
Yep, I will be here.
Nobody's
doing Crown Jewel or anything or watching it.
You guys can watch Crown Jewel on your own time.
I'm just gonna look at Twitter because I'm not gonna even be home.
I mean, I'll probably watch it when
Crown
I get
Jewel
home Friday
right
night.
after fucking NXT.
I might watch a couple of matches. There's only a couple of matches that I want to see, and the women's match was one of them because I want to see the crowd and how they react to it. Because that is telling, very telling, on if they even do it again. And then I do want to see how fucking stupid the fucking Fiend versus Rollins.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And then, just saying.
I hope he hits him with a fucking 747 jet.
It cannot be stopped for any reason now.
I
hope somebody pulls the fire alarm.
I have a funny feeling they're going to do something like that because you have to clear the building, and you can't.
Cannot be stopped for any reason.
You can't.
What a stupid.
You have to.
Like I feel like it's like a slap in the face, like because so many people are like a DQ and a Hell in a Cell, and I know it was ended up being a non-contest, but they didn't really like speak it. It's just like it's like, oh, by the way, this match cannot be stopped for any reason.
Right.
I hope someone comes out and shoots the Fiend in the head. It's like, well, the match is still going. He's dead on the floor, bleeding out.
Well, Austin even asked that. He says, "Is he going to come out with the severed head lantern?"
See that? You got to be careful when doing that shit at fucking in countries like that because
they actually do shit like that.
Well, no, it's not that they do shit like that. The Fiend is like the fucking the devil, the devil for them. Like, well,
I know that was one of the reasons with Aleister Black because of some of his tattoos.
Yeah, the tattoo on his back is of Lilith, and that is
Yeah.
to them is they think that
Bad.
Lilith lives on his body. They're
Right.
fucking weird with that.
Yeah, but Lilith is a very religious figure as well, and it's against their religion.
Yes.
They don't allow it.
Yes.
It's bad. It's bad news bears.
Yes, it is. But like I said, we will be live tomorrow night for NXT, and it looks like it's going to be a good show. So check us out for that tomorrow night, and if that goes over well, we'll continue to do it. Yeah. So that being said, I want to thank everybody for being here. Ronnie, Basement, Trek, Bobbit, Heather, of course. She set all this stuff up here that you're looking at on the TV screen. Wendy, of course. Hammer Horror.
Oh,
That.
feel better, Wendy.
And so that being said, you all have a great night, and we will talk to you tomorrow night. I am kind of excited to do this NXT thing. So have a good night, everybody. See you later.
I'm gonna take a massive shit.
Good, everybody.